Hello everyone, here in this practice we are going to learn how to write a multi-column subquery. As we can see here, we have a simple practice. Write a query to display the last name, job ID and the department ID of all employees whose job ID and department ID is the same as the employee name Lee. So first thing, we want to identify the job ID and the department ID of the employee named Lee. So we want to write a select statement, select job ID department underscore ID from table employees, and the condition is where last underscore name equal Lee. So this select statement returns the job ID, the department ID of employee named Lee. Then we want to write the outer query. The outer query returns the last name, the job ID and the department ID. Select last underscore name, job underscore ID, and also the department underscore ID from table employees. And the condition is where here we want to compare the job ID and the department ID. Write a query to display the last name, job ID, and the department ID of all employees whose job ID and department ID together. That means where we can open brace here, job underscore ID and department underscore ID equal to, and our subquery here. So this select statement returns the job ID, department ID from table employees where the last name equal Lee, and then the outer query runs to return a list of employees where the job ID and department ID equal the output returned by the multi-column subquery. Here we are assuming this subquery returns only one record. If it returns multi-row or multi-records, we can use, in this case, instead of equal, we can use n. So let's try to run this select statement. And here we go. So as we can see, this is a list of all employees where the job ID and the department ID is the same as the employee named Lee. As we can see, the job ID is SA rep and the department ID equal 80. To double check your output, we can just run this select statement alone and run the query. The output of this query only, the job ID must be SA underscore rep and the department ID equal 80. So as we can see, SA rep and the department ID is 80. Let's run the select statement again. So this is the final output. As we can see, a list of all employees where the job ID is SA underscore rep and the department ID equal 80. So in this practice, we learn how to write a multi-column subquery. I hope this video was informative for you, and thank you for watching.